It was late on a stormy night when my phone lit up with a notification. One I would come to wish I'd never seen, just 5 months into my marriage with Emily. I believed I knew her completely. Her laughter, her aspirations, even the quirky little habits that made her irritating in the most endearing way. But what appeared on my screen shattered every belief I held about her. A video from her bachelorette party. Someone had dropped it into our wedding group chat, and I, too curious, too naive, opened it. The first few seconds were harmless enough. Friends giggling, champagne glasses tapping together. Emily glowing in the center of it all, blissfully unaware that what I was about to witness would tear apart my reality. I smiled awkwardly at the familiar faces, remembering that night as nothing more than a whirl of dancing, music, and laughter. And then it happened. I went still. Emily was on a couch, leaning against a man I didn't recognize at first glance. His arm was around her, far too close, far too intimate, the kind of closeness meant for lovers, not casual acquaintances. My chest tightened, my hands grew sweaty, and my mind went blank. I replayed the video, telling myself I must be seeing it wrong, convincing myself it was just an innocent moment blown out of proportion. But the way he whispered into her ear, the way she laughed and brushed her hair back while pressing into him, my heart splintered in ways I didn't even know were possible. I set my phone down, trying to calm my breathing. Images of our wedding, the vows, the smiles, the promises, flooded my mind, suddenly coated in bitterness. How had I missed all this? She had stood there beaming at me while a different life, a hidden truth, existed behind my back. The next morning I tried to pretend everything was normal. I made coffee, glanced at a newspaper I wasn't really reading, and forced a smile when she walked into the room. Emily caught something in my expression, a flicker of tension she couldn't identify. "You okay?" she asked, leaning on the counter. I let out a weak laugh. "Yeah, just didn't sleep well. The storm kept me up." She frowned. "It was only rain, John. You've been acting weird lately. Did I do something wrong?" Wrong? God, everything about her felt wrong now. I wanted to confront her, to demand answers, but I couldn't. Not yet. I needed to understand how deep this betrayal ran, and how long she'd kept it hidden beneath her smiles. Over the next few days, the image of that night wouldn't leave me. I watched the video again and again, noticing new details each time, her hand resting on his chest, their whispered exchanges, the laughter that suddenly felt stolen from me. And still, some part of me wanted to forgive her before I even knew why she did it. Love, I realized, had made me naive, captive to my own hope. I decided to bring up the bachelorette party casually, hoping she'd slip. One evening as she poured wine, I asked, "So the party was fun, right?" Emily grinned, completely unaware. "It was incredible. Everyone came. I haven't laughed that hard in ages." She paused, swirling her glass. "I didn't drink too much, just enough to loosen up. You would have had a blast." I nodded, my stomach twisting. "Sounds like it was crazy." She laughed. "Oh, it was. We played that ridiculous game where everyone has to share secrets. It was hilarious. I probably embarrassed myself." I forced a smile, my heart pounding. "Secrets. Right." I watched how effortlessly she spoke, how easily she either lied or compartmentalized what she'd done. I wasn't sure which possibility terrified me more. By the following week, the man's face in the video had become crystal clear in my mind. I recognized him from a work event she'd mentioned months earlier. The realization hit me hard. This hadn't been some random drunken lapse. It was intentional, planned, intimate. That night, I confronted her, my voice barely above a whisper. "Emily, who is he?" She froze mid-bite, staring at me as though I was speaking nonsense. "Who? John? I don't understand. What are you talking about?" I felt tears sting my eyes. "The man in the video. The bachelorette party. I saw you, Emily. I saw everything." Her expression shifted. The warmth I had once fallen in love with replaced by something unreadable. "John, that was years ago. Before us. I told you about the party, people were flirting, being stupid." "I didn't." "Didn't what?" I snapped, my voice breaking. "Didn't lie to me every time I said I loved you? Didn't let me believe I was the only one?" She winced, guilt flickering across her face, but it wasn't enough, not even close. I didn't think it mattered. It was just one stupid night. I was young, drunk. It meant nothing, she said softly, reaching for my hand. I recoiled as if her touch burned. It mattered, Emily. It matters because you let me love you while hiding it. 5 months. 5 months of lies, of pretending. Do you know what that does to someone? The silence that followed was suffocating. She didn't argue. She didn't defend herself. Maybe she realized nothing could undo what she'd done. I left the apartment that night, wandering through the rain-soaked streets until my shoes were drenched, my mind swirling with rage, sorrow, and disbelief. Every couple I passed felt like a cruel joke. Every laugh stabbed at me. How could someone you trust so deeply hold something like that behind your back? Weeks passed as I tried to make sense of everything. I wanted to forgive her, to find a path forward, but every memory felt poisoned. The little habits I once adored, her hair tucks, her humming in the kitchen, now felt manipulative, rehearsed. Trust, I realized, was delicate, and she had crushed it with one careless smile. One night, I sat alone on our couch, staring at her empty side of the bed. I realized I didn't really know her anymore. The woman I married was both present and absent, hidden beneath layers of secrets. And yet, I still loved her. It was maddening. Eventually, I knew what I had to do. I called her into the living room, my voice steady but cold. Emily, I can't do this. Not now. Maybe not ever. I can't unsee any of it, and I can't pretend this pain isn't here. You need to leave, for a while at least, so I can figure out if there's anything left worth saving. Her eyes filled with tears, and for the first time she didn't argue. She simply nodded and quietly gathered her things. When the door shut behind her, I felt a strange blend of relief and heartbreak. The betrayal had cut deep, but something else dawned on me. I had survived it. I had faced the truth, no matter how painful, and I was still standing. The rain had stopped outside, leaving the streets glowing under the pale moon. I sat in silence, thinking about love, trust, and how easily the human heart can break. And even though mine still ached, even though her laughter now carried bitterness, I knew that someday I might learn to love again. But for now, all I could do was let the pain be what it was, raw, honest, and let it teach me something about the people we think we know, and the betrayals that hide in plain sight.